Maimbag maningal daw tayo amin, a very wonderful day to all. Wherever you are, welcome. Welcome to the Institute of Global Professionals free webinar, a platform that continuously aims to share valuable information with the rest of the world. A platform that aims to continuously feed your skills and build you become better. With the three I's it dearly upholds, innovate, inspire, and impact. It's such a privilege to be hosting today's webinar. My name's Sarah, a core volunteer of IGP. I'm a teacher from the Philippines, but currently based here in Vietnam. Chào mọi người means be happy or hello everyone. For our new attendees who do not know what IGP yet is, Institute of Global Professionals or IGP is a community where enthusiastic speakers and coaches all over the world come together to voluntarily impart their expertise, knowledge, and wisdom in the hopes of empowering and educating millions of people around the world. IGP is leading in providing opportunities for every individual. We are proud to be entrusted with global recognition such as the International Standards Organization or ISO, which is backed up with a high credibility, recognition, and improved consistency of our speakers. We at IGP have been providing specialized webinars filled with practical knowledge that does not only help but make you thrive and adapt in a constant changing world. Our webinars are free and you can access them anytime at your convenience. Up until this moment, we have 203 webinars that you can freely access and enjoy. Visit our Facebook page or website and you can access the wide variety of our topics of your topics of your interests and needs. You can still get the e-certificate for those particular webinars of your choice given that you watch till the end. We hope that you continuously support us in meeting our goal of reaching millions of people by liking, commenting, and sharing our webinars with your friends and loved ones. As IGP keeps on saying, power is gained by sharing knowledge. So let's go share, let's go viral. It's already been 2 years since pandemic came, and it has unfurled the world over and altered the way of our living together. With the start of the new academic year, educators, policymakers, and other education key stakeholders around the world just have to be prepared for the new normal and must continue education interventions for our students. Our theme today is acing the new normal in education. We're thankful that three amazing educators are here with us today to share and discuss their expertise in different fields that can aid us ace in our own classes. This topic, I believe, is just up and perfect given the current situation we have right now. So if you think your friends and acquaintances might need this, let's ask them to join us. Now, join me, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming our very first speaker, Ms. Haja Rama Mesalucha, with her presentation, Developing Comprehension in the New Normal Education. Ms. Haja Rama, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
welcome,
Sarah.
IGP. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. It is actually my second time around in IGP to be the resource speaker. And it's actually a pleasure for me to share my expertise. Yeah. So allow me to present to you my screen. Okay. So by the way, I'd like to acknowledge our FB Live participants. We already have 125 and counting. Okay. So it's a wonderful, bright Sunday morning, even though it's raining here in the Philippines. It's about to rain. My name is Haja Rama M. Mesalucha Baniega, and I am an educator. I am also a life coach, a researcher, a writer, an international speaker, a learning and development trainer. And I'd like to thank IGP, Institute of Global Professionals, for allowing me to share again my expertise here in this platform together with my other colleagues. All right, so I'm going to be talking about how to ace reading comprehension and how to develop it in this new normal situation. So as you can see on your screen, on your FB Live monitors, let me ask you, my dear viewers, okay? So at what age did you actually learn reading? Okay, let me see your comment on the FB Live. Can you kindly type, at what age did you actually learn to read? Because for myself, I've been reading a book when I was 4 years old. Okay, so keep coming your answers, keep it posted. All right. So at least on this new normal situation, we really have to understand the value of loving to read, because I'll be sharing you four letters for this entire topic for us to ace the new normal situation. All right. We are living in this digital world where information are readily available at hand, but we are not exempted that we are facing the VUCA world, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Now, we have to validate facts. If it is legit, it's valid. Now, in acing the new normal education, allow me to share to you the four letters of the word read, R-E-A-D, to equip us more with ourselves and thrive with this new normal. All right? So, for me, I really love reading. Reading is the first step toward teaching on learning procedure, rather, and it blocks the barrier of restricting knowledge that is being enhanced to our readers and learners. Now, if you want to develop interactive learning, reading must be your first choice. However, many of us struggle in reading. Reading is a skill that we all need to be able to do, but not everyone can read in their full potential. If you agree, type 1 on the chat pane. That's why reading strategies are important to increase our comprehension and speed. Okay? So reading fast or slow won't make much of a difference if you or I don't understand what we are reading. Therefore, learning how to improve our reading skills will benefit us greatly in the long run. When it comes to developing comprehension and grasping abilities, you need to divert your mind from reading. Now, we know that the term bibliophilia or bibliophilism is the love for books, and a bibliophile or a bookworm is an individual who loves and frequently read books. Now, my question in the Facebook Live, what age did you learn reading? I'm waiting for all your answers, my dear participants. Okay, now there are actually 7 benefits of reading books. First is to increase our vocabulary, and it improves our memory and focus. Aside from that, it enhances our imagination. It sharpens our mind. It decreases our stress and depression, and strengthens our ability to write in our writing skills. And last but not least, it boosts our sleep. Imagine the benefits of reading. Now, in this new normal setup, we somehow forget to read a lot because we are bound to do our task. We are a bit busy with our situations. So we have to mind reading, okay? Now, let me ask you, what book made you a reader? Okay, personally, in my current situation, I love this book. This is called the Scripture, okay? Because it is the account of humanity. The Bible shows us how God's character and provides us good revelation of Himself to us, okay? It is the most important source of our Christian life, and this is the authority of Christians. Now, you may have your own respective books that you like. Now, as we read, we have our purpose, be it to entertain, to inform, while we read, also for pleasures and enjoyment, and also to have practical application to obtain an overview or specific local or specific information that we need to get. Now, to identify also the idea or the theme, or even to get information from what we need, and of course to develop a detailed and critical understanding, and thus improves our comprehension. Now, these things, of course, develops critical thinking. Again, it boosts vocabulary, it enhances empathy, and it increases our brain activity, and it reduces the stress. So let me know on your comment, what book did you learn to read? Okay, what is your favorite book? All right. Now, for us to ace in the new normal situation, this letter R, as the word read, stands for readiness. Let me ask you, are you ready? Because we are bound to bear the consequence of this VUCA world, okay? Now, being ready in this new normal context, we have this, what we call Thorndike's law of readiness, which states that learning is dependent upon the learner's readiness to act. We cannot force an individual to read if they are not ready to learn yet or to read anything, okay? This facilitates the strengthening of the bond between the stimulus and the response. Thus, for example, an athlete who is highly motivated and eager to learn is more likely to be receptive to learning than one who is poorly motivated. So if we force to an individual to read if it's not yet ready, then we cannot get anything from him or her. This law states that an organism or people or student or a child is only going to learn when they are physically ready and mentally ready. That's why in the upcoming discussion with my colleagues later on, they will also discuss physical and mental readiness. All right. Now, if a student is ready to learn, the act of learning will be satisfying. That's why it is similar with reading. If the student is not able to learn when they are ready and willing, they will become dissatisfied and annoyed. Have you ever encountered an individual who is being forced to read, but they don't love to read? They are not motivated to read. Okay, in developing reading comprehension, we have to be ready. We have to master readiness in comprehension because we are developing our ability to be motivated. Now, here are the 6 steps for us to comprehend easily as a reader. Okay, let's have people to read aloud. Let's have them books that are readily available at their hand and resources. Let's help them reread and build fluency. Okay, in this new normal situation, there are various experiences in the school wherein they cannot read because even they are already in high school, they cannot read because they are having difficulty in understanding how to pronounce words correctly, how to utter the vowels and anything like similarly related to that situation. Now, to gain meaning from text and encourage reading comprehension with our learners, they need to read quickly and smoothly. And it is a skill that we know, so-called fluency. By beginning at 3rd grade, for example, our learner must read 90 words per minute. Rereading familiar or similar books gives our learner practice and decoding words. You might have your children with you. You might have your sibling with you. You might have your younger brother or sisters with you. Try them to read aloud and practice the skills. Aside from that, we communicate to our child, to our struggling reader, so that they can comprehend. Okay, we have to support and supplement in their reading class, provide them reading materials. And aside from that, part of the readiness is to talk about what they are reading. Okay, we do not have to discourage them of whatever books they want to read, whatever genre, but let's have to help them process what they have read. All right, now it's part of the readiness, that is letter R. Moving on, allow me to share to you this stages of reading processes. Our emergent reader is already on the phase of beginning reading. Basic concepts of print, pictures, analysis, sound, letter, and recognition. Now, why am I into sharing these things to you? Because this is readily available at hand, but we have to relearn these things. This is part of our readiness skills so that by and by we could easily remember the importance of understanding who are our learners, who are our readers. Aside from being an emergent reader, there comes the stage of early reader, where they recognize words, sight words, print reading, and gradual speed and reading. This may be our students, our younger siblings, our friend, okay? Transitional reader, towards fluent reading, reading of lengthy text, little reliance in picture, and we also have the stage where a reader is also already in the self-extending level. They are independent, reading various texts, reading for information, and the last but not the least, the advanced reader. Now, This level has already the mastery in reading. They are proficient. Thank you for our FB Lab supporters. Proficient with comprehension, reading for information, reading for pleasure, inferential reading, interpretive reading, and internalized reading strategies. Now we understand the readiness phase. That's why we have to also remember and recall these stages of reading process. We cannot force to our reader the things that they need to learn in reading if they are not yet ready. They are not yet on the phase of advanced reading level. Okay, moving on. Let me share to you also this pyramid of reading. All right. This is the first phase wherein phonemic awareness is being built. It is the understanding of that, what we call the spoken language or words that can be broken into individual phonemes. So the smallest unit of spoken language to develop phonological awareness among young learners and the first grade students. It is very natural that they will learn because of the sounds, all right? The spoken language. Now, as the level goes up, we have the phonics, all right? It involves matching sounds and spoken English with individual letters. For example, we have the sound k, k, or c. We also have the tops or the tops and the pats. Now, this is what we call phonics. Now, for the following level of this pyramid, we have reading aloud, shared reading, guided reading, and independent reading. This pyramid will never be complete if we do not inculcate reading aloud with our young ones, okay? We have to read aloud so that we can hear what they are reading. We have to share reading. It could be by pair. We have to guide reading, and then they could have the mastery already, thus they can be independently reading what they are supposed to read. Now, if we master this four phase, we already have what we call fluency, where we have our vast vocabulary. Now, these things are essential for us to have comprehension. That's why we can call them skilled reader already. Now, in this VUCA world, where we have to ace the new normal reading situation, we have to understand this pyramid so that we do not force our learners to read independently already if they are not yet the skilled reader that we want them to be. Okay? Even if they are already in college, they are having difficulty in understanding with comprehension. So we go back to what they are already on their specific levels. All right? Moving on. The human mind, all right? The human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole. As you could see on the slide, it is not spelled correctly, but if you process it on your subconscious mind, my dear FB participants and viewers, you could easily read and recognize what does this text reiterate to us. It might be misspelled, but we can still read this one, all right? Because when we say human mind, the first letter and the last letter are being placed right, we can still read this, even this is in total mess. So reading the sentence, we use our eyes as we scan from left to right, all right? So we divide the text into clusters from 2 or 4 words at the same time. So most people decode words 4 to 5 pairs before needing a break. So if we notice our young or our siblings, our students, that they read with struggles because they cannot actually read even the word is spelled correctly, maybe they have a certain situation that they are undergoing. They might be dyslexic, so we have to understand that also. Now, it's part of the readiness too, all right? Let me go ahead with my next slide, all right? Now, what part of the brain is responsible for reading comprehension, all right? As part of our readiness phase in this VUCA world to ace the new normal, we have to know what part of the brain is responsible for reading comprehension. There we have our temporal lobe, all right? This is responsible for phonological awareness and decoding, discriminating sounds. The frontal lobe handles the speech production. We're reading fluency and grammatical usage and comprehension, making it possible to understand simple and complex grammar in our native language. Now, these parts of the brain are essential because we cannot comprehend if we don't have our temporal lobe and frontal lobe ready. I'm not talking science here, but this is just the human brain, okay? Moving on. All right. It is not enough to simply teach our young to read. We have to give them something worth reading. Do you agree? Type 1 on the FB Live. Thank you. Okay, we have to give them something worth reading. Remember that in this world, we are being bound to read texts that are not valid, that are not legit. So we have to evaluate what are the good and worthy reading materials. Something that will stretch our imagination, their imaginations, something that will help them make sense of their own lives and encourage them to reach out toward people whose lives are quite different from their own, according to Catherine Patterson. This is really essential because we have to read and evaluate what we are reading. The good source of reading material should be what we have to instill in our young ones, all right? Now, what are the activities as part of being ready in the new normal? What are the activities of reading readiness? There we could have play-based activities. For example, that builds reading readiness. We have vocabulary or drill. Print motivation. We also have print awareness, narrative skills, letter knowledge, and phonological awareness. These are just the basic skill, but we have to learn these things because that we are busy at this point in time. We neglect this basic, which affects comprehensively, hugely in the reading process and comprehension of the people around us. All right. Now, reading should not be used as a punishment. Okay. When I was a child back then, I remember some educators would use this as punishment. Let us debunk that activity then. Let us not use reading as punishment so that we could promote entirely the love for reading. Would you agree? Okay. It is counterintuitive. If the goal is to instill a love for reading, then reading or taking away the reading time should not be an option for punishment. Okay? Moving on. After the letter R, which is readiness, the next letter is E. Okay, we have this eagerness. Okay, eagerness is equal to success. It is equals to success. We are eager to learn in this new normal context because if we're not, we are being left behind, all right? Now, this point in time, the diversity of learners in terms of academic performance and the ability to read is now appended with the diverse social, economic status and the ability to sustain education amid the pandemic. So if you are a parent of a toddler who wants to foster a love for reading on your child, even though at their very young age, we have to establish love for reading. They must be excited. They must be eager to discover how us, as elder citizens, can promote love for reading. We have to show keen interest and intense desire to also read. We model to them, okay? Now, there are 9 best tips for how to raise an eager reader, okay? First thing, taking in a slow, gentle manner. We cannot force them to read fast if they cannot read fast yet. Next, do not ask questions yet. Part of the eagerness is do not ask questions. Let them enjoy what they are reading. And sit with them. Page by page, turn the book, evaluate the illustrations, appreciate the beauty of pictures shown. Apart from the reading text, you also evaluate and see and check the pictures on the book or the material that you are sharing with your young ones. This is part of the eagerness so that they can understand thoroughly the entire context of the material. Next, we have to introduce to our young the range of books, that we are not just limited with a specific book according to their age, but we are also bound to the numerous kinds of books, the variety of books. We have Pictionaries, wordless books, and simple stories, okay? By introducing them to the various types of books and materials in reading, they will discover their own love for reading. They will discover their own genre that they love. That's why they develop this eagerness in this book world. Aside from that, we have to be comfortable when we talk with them. When they watch, it's okay that they watch your reading. We share ideas, for example, talk about the books when you were kids, okay? Aside from that, we have to offer nursery rhymes to our toddlers. And they enjoy singing also. And we do simple games about reading, okay? We motivate them. We give them prizes if they perfectly do, but if not, that would just be fine. Aside from that, we have to spend a relaxed period of every day, about a half, just sitting, playing, talking with no interruptions. Okay. And aside from that, we limit the television access. If we limit the television access, therefore, they could have ample time to read materials that is applicable at their age. So it's part of the eagerness already. Okay, moving on, we have letter A. The first letter we have R, and then the second letter is A. R is readiness, and we have the eagerness. Now we proceed with awareness. Now that we are thoroughly aware of being ready and being eager, what is awareness then? All right, it is no secret that an education system here and abroad have been hit hardly by COVID-19 pandemic. And while we hear sometimes difficulties among parents, guardians, students who are struggling reading online with their teachers, we all have the fair share of these challenges. Now, as teachers, as educators, as a citizen who is responsible to inculcate reading awareness and love for reading with our young ones, we have to remain still and value reading, even if it's COVID-19 pandemic. Okay? Now, there are actually 7 challenges according to research that has been studied. All right. Now, the first thing that our young ones are encountering, we have to be aware that they are now cell phone addict. Right. This is very true. Aside from that, they have short attention span. Given this limited attention span, how can we enforce them? How can we inculcate them and instill them the love for reading? It's a challenge for us. Now we have to be aware so that we could actually give solution for this situation. Now, they are also bound with their responsibilities at home. Okay? They may be a good reader, but they cannot practice because they are bound with responsibilities at home. Aside from that, they have various extracurricular activities. And some are lack of interest, while some are lack of motivation and no quiet place to read at home. Given that we are on remote learning, they are experiencing learning situation with just like with what we are experiencing at this present point in time. We have external noises, internal noises, and these are called barriers affecting the reading process of our young ones. All right. Now, these are part of being aware, our awareness with readiness, eagerness, and awareness. And the letter D that we have for read is demonstrativeness. As the word implies, us, we have to demonstrate. We model implicitly and explicitly the love for reading. Comprehension and extracting the meaning of what we read is part of demonstrating to them that we really value reading. We use the prior knowledge, we use predicting, we use identifying the main idea and the summarization. We do questioning. We also have making inferences. These are part of demonstrative skills that we do with our young ones. Now, why do we need to demonstrate? Okay, we need to demonstrate our love for reading because if not, who will be the ones to demonstrate for them? If not us, who will be the ones? All right. If we really value reading, if we really want to develop reading comprehension, we have to fully master it within ourselves. Thus, it will be seen and then they will follow also. All right. Moving on. Okay, let me share to you, the more that we read, the more things that you know. So as we master readiness, as we master eagerness, we also master awareness and we master demonstrativeness. So the more we read, The more the things that we know, the more that we learn, and the more places we'll go. So I am not moving from any other else, any place around the world yet, but I am bound to read. Therefore, I have this experience to explore the world in my own comfort zone. Now, this is the skill that we have to inculcate with our young ones, the love for reading, even though we are busy with our current pandemic situation. And if we read, we master reading totally. It can bridge, it can be the springboard with all other various activities in life. If we read, it is essential, similarly essential with how we communicate, okay? Because we understand thoroughly things around us. If we want to foster a true love of reading within our students, within our young, we need to stop limiting their choices in books and allow them to find their own reading identities, regardless of the lexile level, genre, or page count. But we have to guide them, okay? They may have the privilege to explore the genre that they have, but remember a while back, we have to instill goodness when we read so that the fruits of our reading will also be good. All right. But let we explore them, we let them explore, we give them the benefit to explore the genres that they love. We just have to guide them. All right. Now, these are the things that we need to essentially remember in acing the new normal situation. We have to read readiness, eagerness, awareness, and demonstrativeness. And with that, my dear FB Live viewers, my name is Hara, and thank you so much, Institute of Global Professionals. God bless everyone.
Wow, thank you very much, Ms. Haja, for the very wonderful presentation. Indeed, the importance of reading is completely undeniable. And having listened to your presentation has reminded once again our role as educators. And you have taught us a lot of the things that we need to take into account as we help and promote love of reading to our learners. I can just remember and reflect back in my classroom that whenever I ask my students to read and open their books, one student just mentioned, "Teacher, I feel dizzy. There's so many letters." So, uh, yeah, and the read, implementing the read and taking into account, I think that that is surely a goal that we can follow and remember every time we do this or we do reading activities in our class. So thank you so much once again. I hope
Yeah.
to meet you again later.
Catch you later,
All right.
Sarah.
Yes. Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, hmm, it's time to welcome our second speaker, Mr. Romeo Katudai, with his presentation, Physical and Mental Readiness in the New Normal Education. Welcome, Mr. Romeo.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Thank you, Sarah, for that warm introduction. So I would like to thank the IGP, the Institute of Global Professionals, for this opportunity to share my expertise. So allow me to introduce more about myself. So I am 21 years, no, and counting in the field of education. I'm a public school teacher and a higher education instructor teaching physical education here in the Philippines. Before, I'm a dancer and still a dancer. I love dancing, using those movements to improve my physique and also to be more active and to trigger my mind for critical thinking and to uplift myself, of course, because of sharing that specific talents of mine. Formerly, I'm a swimming athlete during my college days, and I am a master's degree holder with a diploma in culture education. So much with myself. I think we need to proceed with my topic. So let's have our objectives. So first, we need to understand physical and mental readiness in the new normal education. Why is that? Because these two has an important or vital role in completing your aura as a performer, as a teacher, as a worker, okay, in your different fields, no, or expertise. Next, we have to appreciate the importance of advocating physical and mental readiness in the new normal education. Why? Because in order to be a good to have a good output or accomplishment in your field, better that we need to, take a look the details and how to improve ourselves concerning your physical attributes and also your mental attributes. These two must properly collaborate to one another. Next, learn to tips to ace the physical and mental well-being in the context of the new normal. So why is that? Because we are the weapon in this new normal. We as teachers, we as students, we as a worker in different fields again. So we need to take good care of ourselves because we might lose somewhere else. All right? Good health means not only in the absence of disease in the body, but a complete physical, mental, social, as well as spiritual well-being of an individual. So these objectives will make us realize more the essentials of our topic. Moving on. Yeah, this is the challenge. Game on. The beginning of this school year has started last September in the Philippines and all over the world. So actually, the education has already started. While classes are open and the teachers and school leaders, as of now, behind them planning for the shift to another conveyance model of educational programs, the so-called online classes. And we need to adjust to that need. Okay, in the web-based setting, there are tons of restrictions by which teachers can direct their classes, actual distance, dependability of web associations, the ability of understudies. Wow, that's substantially more. Be that as it may, we are likewise not relied upon to finish the greatest expected abilities in the internet setting. We must be sensible in the manner we approach classes. Least abilities can maybe get the job done while on the web. And afterward, those that should be led in the regular setting should be possible when things are better. So this is the challenge for everyone. So who's tuning in our Facebook Live, I think I would like to challenge everyone to follow this simple step or based on my instructions, based on the teacher also, just a simple activity before I proceed with my discussion. No? Okay, so I would like to request everyone to please observe good posture, then sit properly, then let's do this. Okay, I would like to invite also Sarah to participate and also Ma'am Hara. Okay, so find a space and do this, and let's do this one. Okay, just follow instruction. First, sit properly, emphasize good posture. Then let's do the leg stretching. Okay, stretch your right foot first. Okay, let's apply four counts. Okay, assuming one, two, three, and four. Followed by the left leg. Let's try to stretch it. Okay, it's an early morning activity. Let's do this. Okay, very good. This time, try to twist your trunk to the right first. Okay, four counts. Full stretch. Okay, then position, then repeat it to the left. Very good. So stretch. This time, try to slowly lean forward, then try to reach your ankle. Okay, baka, maybe I'll get lost from the video or from the monitor, so I need to reach my toes. All right? Very good. Okay, next, try to lift your right elbow first for your arm stretch. Okay, then pull it backward for four counts. Very good. Okay, this time, let's try to have it on your lap. On the other side, same procedure, pull it backward. Feel the stretching activity or the movement at your back using your muscle. Very good. Okay, this time, try to lock your fingers in front of you, then stretch it forward, then bring it up. Okay, feel the stretch. Okay, try to reach the highest. Then try to bend to the right, then position, then to the left. I'm doing the mirror. Okay, try to feel the movement. Shake, body shake. Okay, what happened to your body? Do you feel some change in temperature? Okay, that's good because the simple exercises could be done in your home. Okay, that is so-called the home-based exercises. Simple exercises will help you a lot to prepare in your simple activities in your home, in your workplace, and anywhere else. All right? So thank you for participation. I hope you like it. Okay, next. Based on research, They claim that our lifestyle deeply affects of our new normal. Obviously, our lifestyle already changed because of the adjustment with the demand of our work, the demand of the community, the demand also of your family. Bad news. A single workout in the gym per day isn't necessarily going to do the trick. Just one magic pill isn't the key to weight loss. 1 hour workout isn't going to offset the multiple hours we sit per day. Although working out is important, it's simply not enough to counterbalance the average person's sedentary lifestyles because we need to exert effort in doing different activities. By doing so, we're also targeting different skills of a human being. The fundamental skills like walking, running, rolling, body twisting, reaching, pulling, these are some fundamental activities that would help us to what? To get ready for work. All right. Good news. After the bad news, you don't have to make a separate trip to the gym to begin to combat the effects of a sedentary job or lifestyle. Simply begin by adding extra movement throughout the day. All household chores, work activity related could be an alternative workout for us. 10 minutes activity would help, like walking around, okay, climbing the stairs, going to the bathroom, cleaning the bathroom. That is just another alternative activity that will settle those less activities that we had before because of the lockdown happened during the pandemic or during the COVID-19 virus scare. Okay? So when you are at home watching television at the end of the day, try to, have some stretching like that, like what we did from the activity number one. Okay? Then position to open up your hips sometimes. Then pay extra attention to change your position every 5 minutes. Again, I'm stressing on that point. Every 5 minutes, we need to change our position. Or sometimes we need to blink our eyes if we're facing the computer to recover our focus, to recover our body. Okay? Next, these movements will help affect those compared to sedentary job. Okay, we need to improve our lifestyle. Again, lifestyle is your daily activities. These are the way you live. These are your daily routines. But the question is your lifestyle good or bad or helpful for your body or for your mental state? All right. Next, according to Omnar et al. 2020, although imposing lockdown or quarantine for the population has been one of the widely used measures across the world to stop the rapid spread of COVID-19, it has severe consequences too. We lessen our involvement to activity. We tend not to perform much. The pressure or the intensity level of our performance get worse. Recent multinational investigations have shown the negative effect of COVID-19 restrictions on social participation, the life, and satisfaction. See, mental well-being or the psychosocial means how we interact to others, how we collaborate with others, emotional disorders as well as sleep quality and employment status has been affected because of this pandemic. All right, moving on. Plus, the announcement of the lockdown and the other services, except for for a few essential services, also by the authorities, has resulted in the radical change in the lifestyle of the people. These sudden changes of people's lifestyles include, but not limited to, physical activities and exercise. Because still, probably because of our intention to do different exercises, we might get the virus because of the people that may also go with us and also during these travels. So we need to avoid that. So that limits your involvement into different activities. Similar results are also reported by other researchers. Although these abrupt changes have influenced every individual, many people who were regularly following their fitness activities in gyms or in ground and other places before the lockdown have been affected intensely. Why? Because of the legal basis and the guidelines implemented by the government all over the world. So see, we need to stay at home. And this time, we need to have an alternative activities if we're trying to, continue the development or also the benefits of doing such activities. Moving on, let's trigger by this statement. Sitting is the new smoking. Sitting too long can kill you even if you exercise. Oh my God. So let's try to reflect this time. According to the different lessons and also during your training, if you're a dancer, if you are a sportsman, or maybe you're trying to impose different engagement, no, in different activities, we have different components in different physical activities. We wanted to improve flexibility for that matter because of our intention. We also want to improve our endurance. We want to improve our power. No, we also wanted to improve strength, etc., etc. And these are all basic skills or the components in physical activity that we wanted to improve. But because of the lag time, we tend to move backwards. We tend to realize that we can't pursue much of these activities because of the problem. Okay, so I think it is better for us to have an alternative activities. So use the different available chores, or let's convert your work nature or the nature of your work to convert into, touch somehow the different components of physical activity, such as try to, when pushing the chairs, changing the position of the tables, etc., etc. That would help. That will help to give you that much, continuously developing those skills and having those skills. All right. We engage in activities which require less energy because of the lockdown, such as staring at the television and investing time situated at the PC because of the nature of our work, or maybe because of the, what is asked to all of us being a student, especially during online class. In the vehicle, sometimes when driving, going to work, instead of walking, we just sit in our car, then we drive it. Okay, so the normal individual goes through as much as 12 hours daily sitting. Nowadays, based on research, 12 hours compared to moving, to apply movements. So let's reflect. What's happening now? Okay, so we need to take good care of our brain because having activities will trigger our mind to focus, to have a critical thinking, to think, to process our movements. So simple activities will help the mental domain of our new being. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, in this new normal, what we need is an open mind to build our strength, rethink and retool for the common good. That's what we're having now because we need to be ready. For quite a long time, teachers have utilized frightening pictures like this to cause to notice sitting. Even turned into the title of this post. In any case, is sitting genuinely an issue? Why? As a general rule, it is not the sitting that messes well-being up. It's the sedentary lifestyle or less performance or less activity. It is lack of movement throughout the day. Again, every 5 minutes we need to move, we need to change position, at least a little bit. Our bodies are intended to move. It is designed for movement because we have muscles and we have bones. Okay, we're brought into the world with almost amazing development. It designs whatever is left of our life, pushing our bodies to do what they are not expected to do. So, how would we find ways to battle these inexorably stationary lives? We need to move. We still need to move. Maybe in a limited space, but we still need to move. Okay, physical readiness is the ability to meet the physical demands of any combat or duty position, accomplish the mission, and continue to fight and win. That's what we're talking about. Okay, COVID-19 pandemic has brought this fast-moving world to a standstill. The impact of this pandemic is massive, and the only strategy to curb the rapid spread of the disease is to follow social distancing. but they never told us to stop moving. The imposed lockdown, resulting in the closure of business activities, public places, fitness and activity centers, and the overall social life, has hampered many aspects of the lives of the people, including routine fitness activities of fitness freaks, which has resulted in various psychological issues and serious fitness and health concerns. So physical readiness is integral factor of composing our holistic well-being. Holistic, it includes the different domains of individual, the mental, the physical, emotional, social aspect, as well as spiritual. During this pandemic, physical exercise has all these benefits for the body. Again, when we talk about physical exercises, it should be planned. It should be focused on the things that actually you consider as your weakness or low point in terms of performance. Because exercise is a planned activities, focusing or directing your weak points in your body or weakest point in your body or weakest skills that you got there. Benefit, but did you know that moving your body and breaking a sweat also improves your mood? So let's try to move. Sometimes it relaxes us, no? Most of the time it relaxes us because of these activities. Alleviates the depression and aids cognitive abilities. Endorphin and dopamine, when we finish a challenging yet satisfying workout, are just what you need to stay mentally and emotionally fit. Emotionally fit, it is it is a condition wherein uh, we could easily find solution. We could cope up with our feelings, with anger, happiness. We have that control. All we have to do is we need to have that control in our mind and our emotions to avoid stress, to avoid depression. Through what? Through having different physical activity brought about by physical readiness. Next, before we go on, before we engage ourselves in different physical activity, we have here questions that we need to answer, because again, our main concern is your health. We also stress also a while ago that health is, I'm already, madam, in the slide number 13. Slide number 13. Yes, madam. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have here questions, physical activity readiness questions. All right. Next slide, ma'am. Moving on. Yes, there you have it. Thank you very much. Okay, so physical activity readiness question. These are common to a sportsman. This is common to all gym enthusiasts. We need to answer these basic questions before we engage or give intensity in our movement or exercises. If we try to plan or program our exercise for a week or for a month. So first, has your doctor ever diagnosed you to have a heart condition and that you should only do physical activity recommended by a doctor? So if your answer is yes, so you must not do intensified activities. Then we need to adjust physical activity involvement to create workout that is good for you or designed for you because of your situation, like avoiding much resistance activity or long and high level of aerobics. Again, aerobics is when you feel that much intensity of the activity. Okay, so it's like jogging, running, jumping, etc. These are samples of aerobics activity. Swimming is an aerobic activity also. Okay, next month. Number two question, again, is your doctor currently prescribing drugs for your blood pressure or heart condition? Why is that? Why they need to question you? Why they need to give you this question? Because there are activities that may increase blood pressure in your body while moving or engaging into activity. Therefore, we need to avoid or engaging in different intensified exercises for that matter. All right? Number three question. Do you experience pain or discomfort in the chest, neck, and jaw area during mild physical activity or at rest? Simply means that your internal body has bigger problem to be addressed immediately. So again, if your answer is yes, we need to adjust the activity or take a rest for a while. All right. Next, number 4, another question. Do you experience shortness of breath with mild physical exertion? Again, exertion is the application of force or intensity, ano, added intensity into activity. Of course, if your answer is yes, you need to stop immediately because the activity may aggravates the situation. Okay, so if your answer is yes, that is the common result. We need to stop, whether we like it or not, because your health is at risk. All right. Number 4. Do you get tired frequently even when not doing physical activity, or are you frequently drowsy when you engage in even simple activity? Oh my God. Because this is related to high blood or hypertension. Because your body temperature also goes higher while moving. All right? So if your answer is yes, we need to consult or maybe tone down the activity or better rest for a while. Number 5, have you lost weight rapidly recently with or without feelings of extreme hunger? Yes, if your answer is yes, maybe some of your organs are not functioning very well. So we need to avoid hazardous activity or powerful activity or high level activity, such as aerobics activity. See? Okay. Next, number 6. Another question. Do you have a bone or joint pain that increases with movement? Is there a sudden increase in pain when bending or touching the joint? If your answer is yes, because sometimes this is connected to age, to gender, because as we grow older, our bone becomes more brittle. Or maybe because of your usual daily activities and also based from your nutritional status. All right? Or maybe there is already underlying issues in your bone. So you need to ask for a for a doctor's opinion regarding that feeling. All right. Next, number 7. Do you know other reason why you should not do physical activity? It's up to you. You need to have a short reflection, sit for a while, then check what are the reasons why I can't be in that activity or why I can pursue any movement. It is your body, therefore you must know what you need the most. Next, supposedly, we're going to do this physical readiness activity or activity number 2. But I am now endorsing you that you must try these simple actions or movements at home or in your workplace because this could be an alternative for your exercise. If you can't go to the gym because of the lockdown or because of this pandemic, here is a quarantine workout during your lockdown exercise to keep us fit. Focus. Sample of resistance exercise such as push up, squat, forward lunges. These are the resistance exercise that can be done at home or small spaces. And also physical fitness is not actually crucial for that matter because physical fitness, as long as you can continue your daily activities, you are physically fit. Okay? So it is crucial for a healthy body, but imperative for a healthy mind and emotional well-being. Even a simple performance will do just to continue your daily activities. That matters. Even though laziness seems the new normal amidst because of the new setting, staying at home has brought it to lessen the activity. There must be a substitute activity. For what? For self-care. Some fitness enthusiasts have also been driving home an important point to improve the health and also the level of fitness. Physical fitness is not just a crucial for your health, but we need to focus also with the ways to improve the level of your performance. Again, I keep on repeating the word performance because physical fitness about health, not just more than the nutritional factors. Also, we need to do some movement to improve that levels of physical fitness. Okay, probably even working on one's sleep cycle, an important aspect of good health. Once again, we need to, combine the two. Okay, what are those things that I need the most to improve my daily activities or to continue my work? No? Okay, so more than laziness or more than sedentary activity, I need to get to movement or to be engaged to activities because it helps a lot for my self-care, to improve my fitness, to improve my physical attributes, my physique, my mental and emotional aspects. All right? That is more on physical readiness. Next, to continue, there are factors affecting physical activity aside from your internal problems, based from the questions that I have mentioned a while ago. First, the eating habits. Your style, the way you eat, affects the way you move or pertaining or focusing on your body. So that's our main concern here. So first, eating habits. When we talk about eating habits, it talks about refers to how and why people eat, which foods they eat, because we have this old saying that we are what we eat. See, okay, and with whom they eat, as people obtain more based on the availability of the food. So, for example, there are factors affecting your eating habits: religion, environment, if that is the available food there. So therefore, that's the only food that you're going to eat. Okay, maybe that is the only food available in the store or maybe in your kitchen. So therefore, that affects your way of eating. See, so that is one factor. Next, sleeping habits. Why? So sleeping habits, sleep contribute on how you feel and function during the day. Obviously, when we sleep or when we get sleep, that's how we recover, our body recovers. So give time for your body to recover. And also, this is the time that we repair, our body repair itself. And also, this is the time also that your brain gave birth to another, cells, or our body reconstruct its own tissues, or in terms of the muscle, it reconstruct its muscles, and it gave birth to different cells of the body. So sleep deprivation decreases. Sleep deprivation decreases your reaction about time. Somehow, because of that deprivation, it increases irritability and causes hormonal and metabolic changes parallel to aging and also health status. That's a problem. So while habitual sleep deficits negatively impact on mental functioning, mood, and inevitably to health, again, inadequate sleep impair immunity. So that's the second factor. Let's have the third one. Okay, the third factor affecting physical activity is the stress. Stress is the body's automatic response to any physical or mental demand placed on it. Commonly, anything that we are not aware, we are not prepared to do, this causes our stress. Something that we don't know causes stress. But the question is all stress bad? Moderate levels of stress may actually improve performance and efficiency to work. Too little stress may result in boredom. Too much stress may cause an unproductive anxiety level. So that's the three factors affecting physical activity. First, the eating habits. Then we have the stress and also the sleeping habits. So let's try to improve those three. No? So we can improve also your physical activity or engagements to your work or responsibility. Let's proceed. Now, mental readiness is about preparing your body for any occasion at work or in your personal life. The first part of the topic is for your physical readiness. And what are the factors affecting your physical readiness? And about your health also. This time, let's connect it with your mental readiness. It is important to manage your anxiety and give your brain a chance to reset, analyze your failures, and then move on, recognizing that more opportunities will come. So having a positive outlook in life. Remember that if your mind isn't into it, you're probably not going to be good at it. That will cause pressure. Mental readiness is the alignment of your conscious thoughts and the actions with your non-conscious behaviors. It's the preparations you make in your mind to face a situation. First step is to realize your goals clearly. Put it in a table. Place it on the table, then jot it down. Schedule your activity. What is your goal? What is your objective for a day? Long-term goals should be broken down into smaller goals to avoid what? Pressure, stress, or anxiety. Because you're looking into a bigger picture. As long as you're doing good or your actions is properly aligned to your objective, so be it. And those should be divided into immediate short-term goals. Understanding where you want to go will help you find the path to get there because you are now mentally ready. Next, I have here a model concerning entitled the 4I Neuro Leader Framework. So you have there, we have here four columns. No, the first one is the performance. Second column is collaboration. Two is innovation, and three is agility. On this 4I Neuro Leader Framework focuses on, see, we have here, these are all skills that we need to be more uh, conscious with. All right. Under performance, it's more on performance question, the integration, the balance, the ethics, and mental readiness. So see, under this performance, we have there the mental readiness to improve your performance, any kind of responsibility. Again, we need to consider aside from physical readiness, we have to be also we have to be also considerate and not to take for granted the mental readiness. See? So all this, no, all this will help a lot to become a good leader, a good teacher, a good student. Because mental readiness is one of the four pillars under the competency of performance. And in the 4 neuro leader model, while it is the utmost important to focus on your physical fitness, it's equally important to focus also on your mental fitness because they collaborate to one another. Again, your mental or your brain interpreted the stimuli sent by your body or based from your senses. Okay, so therefore your brain will give instructions to your body consciously or unconsciously. It moves properly. So we need to do some actions to trigger your brain. A person who is mentally fit has mastered the capacity to focus. Again, and when we talk about mental fitness, you have that control to your brain. You're able to apply critical thinking and able to solve problems in life. So we tend not to be more rattled or maybe, stressed when we have new activities or new responsibility. Self-manage, no? Mental fitness help us to have a self-manage and maintain healthy degree of internal discipline to focus and to have critical thinking. Again, the I4 Neuro Leader Program will teach you how to enhance this discipline and to improve your levels of confidence to fully enjoy the challenge of or task ahead. Again, mental readiness is important as well, equal also to physical readiness. All right, let's continue. These are different benefits of having a mental readiness and also physical readiness. So first, we have to reach and maintain a healthy weight. Because when you're stressed or you are not mentally ready, sometimes you tend to eat anything around you without control. So we need to have a show, basic concerns, and also we need to be more conscious with what we eat. So and the tendency will be we could arrive too much to gain we could gain weight. No? Next, strengthen bones and muscles. When we move, obviously we tend to prepare our body. When we move, we what do you call this? We lubricate your joints, you lubricate your bones when we move. So it is helpful. Next, it improves the heart and the lung function, such as during your aerobic activity. It improves its capacity. It gives you the level of performing in a long period of time. When we call it endurance. No, okay. Next, we have sleep better. Then we live with a happier life. No? Okay, other benefits of regular physical activity aside from, mental readiness, it reduces the risk of heart attack. Also, it manages your weight better, have a slower blood cholesterol level. Again, it lowered the risk of type 2 diabetes and some cancers, have lower blood pressure, and also have stronger bones, muscles, and joints, and lower the risk of developing osteoporosis. Lastly, it lower your risk of falls or failures in life because you are ready, you are prepared mentally, you are prepared physically. Next, mental health. Okay, let's have this impact in getting active on mental health. Impact getting active has on mental health. Okay, these are contributory why we need to give weight on mental readiness. Also, mental health, because mental health improves the mood. Also, it lifts self-esteem. It lowers risk of depression. It reduces stress. It improves sleep or slows dementia and cognitive decline. Mental health includes our emotional and psychological and social well-being. It affects how we think, we feel, we act. See, it also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, no? So, and also to making choices in a daily basis. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood to adolescent, throughout adulthood. We have also seven components here of mental health. The first one is community. We belong to our community. So we are not an island. So we need to collaborate to others. We give, no, we share experience, we share our thought to others. Next, physical health. So aside from this, so you need to prepare your body, do some exercises, to improve your mind. And also intellectual health. The more we move, the more we think. The more we think, we improve critical thinking, reasoning ability. So also, we improve intellectual health. Next, environmental health. So by walking, during your meditation to relax your mind, appreciating the nature, appreciating the existence of life, that is all about environmental health. No? Any living organisms, no, beyond our body, or maybe the space beyond our body, is called environment. So see, so we need to appreciate the existence of this. So that is environmental health. We also need to acknowledge your boundaries or limitations. We are not a perfect human being. We are not perfect creation of God. But because of that imperfection, we tend to improve. We have more rooms to improve. Okay, we need to identify your weakness and strength. Then, most importantly, we need to love ourselves because that is self-care. Next, the question now is, what can you do? That's the challenge. After knowing the importance of mental health, mental fitness, physical health, and physical fitness, ask ourselves, where are we now? What are the things that I do every day? Is it contributory for my mental health? Does it contribute for the improvement of my physical health? Ask and be concerned. Act and face things. Help others and maintain positivity in life. Next, be an advocate. I challenge you. We challenge ourselves. I challenge the world. Our roles are advocates to offer independent support to those who feel they are not being heard and to ensure that they are taken seriously and their rights are respected. We will ensure a person has the tools to make an informed decision. It is not about making decision for the person because all we need to do is to be there and offer psychosocial support always. See, invite them to do exercise. Be engaged. Be part of the different, alternative activities. We invite our family. Let's try to invite our friends, even at home. Do it virtually. See? Next, we have here the mental health continuum model. Okay, just focus on the uh, first column from my left up to the other side. Okay, so we have here the healthy, reacting, injured, and ill. And it is mentioned in this model, in this mental health continuum model, that it is natural to be ill, to experience failures, to experience negativity, to hear negativity about you or bad comments about you. It is normal. But the question is, how are you going to cope up or recover from those statements? Are you going to allow them to ruin you as a person? It is normal to experience this ill. Next, after experience that, we tend to be injured because of that instances or because of these feelings or because of those experiences. So it is normal to be injured, but we need to find solution to what? To be healed and to recover from that emotion or from that being injured. No, the next question is, how are you going to react or recover? What are the ways and what are the means? What are the strategies that we must focus? See, find your friends, talk to your friends, include your family, tell something about yourself, share your experience. No, then we tend to develop ourselves all together because our main focus in mental health continuum is to be healthy. See, okay, to be healthy because the mental health continuum is the range of well-being, having mental health and mental illness. As the two extreme ends, no negative and positive, but it is normal to all of us. All we have to do is to acknowledge it, depending on the circumstances of any individual at any time. They may find themselves at one point of the continuum and shift position, no, to the green one, to be healthy, to be as their situation improves or deteriorates. So it's up to you. It's your decision. Again, that is your status. That is more on personal decision. This is a very there is very there is a thin line between being broke or being positive. No, there are very the sanity and insanity experiencing those two. It's up to you if you're going to be to do or to be experienced or to become depressed or positive person. Let us advocate physical and mental readiness in the new normal education because it is our duty to help one another. We exist in this world because of that prime obligation. We are created by God, to show goodness in the world. So how are we going to do that? Be positive, prepare your mental health, and by doing that, start with improving your physical health. Next, allow me to share this simple article of mine. So it's entitled, it has the acronym Romeo from my name, ROMEO. Also, it's entitled Move to Improve. Okay, let me just allow me to read this article. Or remember, as you move, your health improves. Over the years, the advantage of active work and exercise have been exhibited across the life expectancy. We are intended to move, and large number of our body's framework work better when we are reliably truly dynamic or mobile or moving. For overseeing manifestation of depression, some research proposes that raised degrees of oxygen consuming action raises also the pulse. It might be released with more prominent decreases in the bothersome side effects. Letter N, make considerations to actual work more than once every day to incorporate brief periods, at least 90 to 30 to 90 seconds a day, no, for that matter, then more noteworthy power. For a few, this may be cultivated through the practice in their homes, including jumping jacks, Zumba dancing, and sequencing strength preparing workouts. Letter E, everyone should exercise. Be it. Okay, mark it. We should exercise. Moderate to energetic, actual work and exercise during a day, they are related with rising the confidence of doing activity. Further, develop the focus, decreases the burdensome manifestation, and upgrades in rest. For some seasoned grown-ups and among people overseeing persistent ailments, normal chores around the house are suggested. Moderate to incredible active work will help also to display positivity towards work. Letter O, of course, it is significant for relatives to play the strong role in the advancement of actual work and exercise. So this article of mine actually published in our division in our in the Philippines. So again, we move to improve because movement will lead us to improve also our mental health and physical health, the so-called physical readiness and mental readiness. As I end, let me share you this last slide. Again, I say health is wealth. Stay negative of COVID 19, stay positive with physical and mental well being. For that, I say thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sir Romeo. I feel refreshed as I followed your movement instruction prior to your presentation. And I agree that as the pandemic disrupts and brings significant changes in our lifestyle, so as our physical and mental being, they have been changed a lot into maybe not in a positive way. And your presentation is what we do really need these days. And I'm sure a lot of us have who have listened to you today have taken a lot of takeaways that we can apply in our day-to-day life and also that we can share to our loved ones. And I love the challenge that you have posted for everyone else who are with you today to be an advocate of physical and mental health readiness. Yeah, but it poses also challenges to apply it for ourselves first because
Yes.
I think that most of us or a lot of us are also guilty of having a sedentary lifestyle. But um, the challenge that you have posted also to keep the choice if we are going to stay being sedentary or to move to improve. I love that. I love this article that you have published. I want to get a
Thank you very
copy of
much, ma'am.
that. Yeah, I want to have the full copy of that later. So thank you so much, Sir Romeo, once again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, before calling our last speaker, I would like to thank everyone for to all our participants who are actively taking part in this webinar. You are still very much encouraged to give your thoughts and ideas regarding our topic in our comment section below. Let's share our thoughts and learn together. Also, we are also going to have a quiz competition. Stay tuned for a chance of winning a quiz champion certificate. The question and answer portion will be done after the quiz show as well. So please prepare your questions as we continue learning together. Now, join me, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming our very last speaker for today, Miss Jocelyn Pondavela. Miss Jocelyn, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi,
Welcome.
Miss
I'm the
Jocelyn.
last speaker. I hope you stay till last. Good
We
morning.
will.
Yes. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone. Hello, world. Am I going to start now? Yes. Okay. So, as the moderator uh, announced that I am the last speaker for today, I am tasked now to share with you the topic, the last topic, which is what fostering values formation in the new normal education. Okay, so good afternoon, good morning, once again to one and all present in this webinar. Of course, I am Jocelyn Basse Pundovela. I am a life coach and a trainer with a strong leadership background. So I am committed to helping others to manage change and transition smoothly. I work with corporate before, government and team coaching and development. I'm also a professor, a licensed professional teacher, a registered psychometrician. I'm also an author, writer, a youth formator, and presently I am a guidance counselor. So much for that. Hello, once again, world. Bear with me. Okay, again, my topic now is fostering values formation in the new normal education. To begin with, your values form the foundation of your life, right? So they dictate the choices you make and determine the direction that your life takes. Your values will influence your decisions related to your relationships, career, and other activities you engage in. Today, we will delve deeply why fostering values formation in the new normal is indeed necessary. So, the COVID 19 pandemic presents humanity with an extraordinary challenge. So, the rapid spread of the virus and the necessity of seeing and checking for the effectiveness and efficiency of vaccines, and our world is constantly affected by this increase of cases. Much that our mental health is affected, which is also our concern. Okay. So our values can make a difference. Okay, moving on. Again, our values can make the difference. Okay, what were the values taught to you when you were in your childhood? Okay, that's the question. I think the very question. Okay, so come to reflect on it. What are the values taught to you when you were in your childhood? The Dictionary of Psychology explains that value attitudes as it determines all human works, and the main patterns of behavior are different actions or even single acts. So according to John Piaget, uh, he is sure that the middle childhood, the age between 6 to 11 years old, is the most suitable period to foster moral issues. Again, 6 to 11 years old is the most suitable period to foster moral values and moral issues. Okay. So according to Lawrence Goldberg, referring to various research points out three stages in the evolution of morality. Okay, so the second stage includes children aged from 10 to 13, uh, is so-called the self-decided moral agency. So the third stage of Lawrence Goldberg represents the moral agency using all individual moral standards. So this kind of morality develops or fails to develop in the period of adolescence. So moving on. So what are the values you learned when you were in childhood? Okay, think about it. So the issues of moral values are highly relevant as they are closely related with the human upbringing, fostering of these value attitudes. So that's according to sketches of ethics. That was 1984. So secondly, our modern education is in a state of global crisis, partially because of the absence of value-based design of its strategic functions. So the development of value-based attitude is a complex process. Is a complex process. So in general, morality or moral is the most conservative aspect of inner culture. It changes slowly and gradually. However, children and teenagers have less preconceived ideas and habits than adults. Therefore, their relationship with the world is in the making. They are more flexible and susceptible to outward influences. Okay, so moving on. So in the slides, the quasi-circumflex model proposed by Schwartz. There you go. Okay, it's two-dimensional space contrasts, self-transcendence with self-enhancement values. Example of that is what? The helpful versus achievement. Of course, we have openness with conservation values, freedom versus security, as you can see in the slide, figure 1. So self-transcendence and the conservation values are considered as having a social focus, whereas self-enhancement and openness values are considered as having a personal focus by Schwartz. Okay, so moreover, self transcendence and openness values are conceptualized as anxiety free and growth oriented, whereas self enhancement and conservation values are anxiety avoidant and focus on self protection. So the model's two dimensional structure has been replicated in many cross sectional and experimental studies conducted in over 80 countries. Okay, so moving on. So those are the values presented. So the interpretation of the concept of value is extremely varied and brings a historic background. Okay, so values are fostered since, okay, remember this, values are fostered since childhood through the process of what? Through the process of sharing and analyzing individual experience based on a certain concept such as one, we have goodness, beauty, and so on and so forth. So rules and standards are important. They are also important for value development. So all people tend to seek values in their cognition. Okay. This was published when was Values Change 1999. So moving on, how does pandemic now affects your values in life? Again, how does pandemic affects your values in life? Okay. Let me see if there are comments. Okay. So what are those values affects your in our lives now? Okay, one, the teachers who attempts to develop. Okay, let's see the second slide, the next slide. Okay, moving on, the teacher who attempts to develop, as I have said, respect for nature and the values of their learners should know and utilize the mentioned peculiarities of the age boundaries. So primary school shares a great responsibility in this process, while pupils are curious, sensitive to nature. I mean nature now. Okay. Nature, sabi ko, as I have said, sorry, sensitive to nature, influenced by the processes of outward world at this age range. Okay, our love for nature, the importance of its protection should be instilled since childhood. Okay, so we have the values of what? God fearing, humane, humanitarian, patriotism. We have also nature loving. Okay, so experience acquired in the family is further developed as school where value-based attitudes are continually established. A strong individual opinion about the surrounding nature is also developed. So this consideration presented by Klimanska and others have become extremely, I think, important having assessed the data of recent research. So according to research, 20% of the parents stated it was not the main goal of their family. Most of the researchers agree that very often that the media ignore the development of positive value-based attitudes and impose many things without any value-based orientation. Hence, In respect of nature, school is mainly responsible for the fostering the value attitudes of the pupils. That was in the research. So since 1988 or 1998 rather, active enthusiasts have launched a project named The Animate World in Me, which involves the city pupils who have pets. This is according to the research of Bob Rovat way back 2000. It states that the curriculum of this project, developing children's care for their animals in one of the most effective pedagogic and psychologic methods that builds up mental, emotional, and physical well-being of school children. So, enriches their free time trying to reach harmony with nature. Okay, so moving on. So the psychological factors we have in the next slides. These are the psychological factors affecting our behaviors. So what are those? We have our motivation, our perception, and so on. So to reflect to it, we have on the next slides the values, our beliefs, the consequences of our behaviors, and in connection with the values that we are in the present situation now. So values also shape again our behaviors, but in as much or in a much more powerful way. So according to Chomsky's keen observation, unfolds daily as organizational scientists and practitioners grapple with why good people and or organization often do bad things. Why good people, the same as the organization, often do bad things. It is of course deliberately affected by our emotional intelligence. So values can make a major difference in how we live our lives or how we live our lives. When we are in tune with our values, we can lead lives where our philosophy and beliefs align with our actions. So they give us the clarity to make decisions and help us derive a deep, a deep sense of fulfillment. Okay, so we have three types of values students should explore. So moving on, so we have character values, so we have work values, and we have personal values. So come to think of it, the three values the students should explore now. Okay, you have character values. Those are character that are what? The universal values that you need to exist as a good human being. That's character values. And for work values, these are values that help you find what you want in a job and give you job satisfaction. And we have personal values that values gain from nurture and training. Since I mentioned the four domains of emotional intelligence, so we need to delve into emotional intelligence, or we call the EQ, right? Okay. So as we again delve into emotional intelligence or EQ, it's broken up into four domains, as I have said. So we have in the slides, we have the self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and we have relationship management. Okay. So as you can see, under self-awareness, we have emotional self-awareness, accurate self-awareness, we have self-confidence. So for social awareness, we have empathy, organizational awareness. So we have self-service orientation. And for self-management, we have emotional self-control, transparency, adaptability. We have achievement, or what we call achievement orientation. We have initiative and optimism. So for relationship management, we have influence, development of others, teamwork, collaboration. and so on and so forth. So according to Daniel Goleman, who made EQ, what is today? Uh, we have, as I have said, self-awareness. This is the very first domain. So the first domain is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It's the ground step to having with what? High EQ. He defines it as understanding your own emotions and their impact. So you know what you're feeling and why, and how it helps or hurts what you are trying to do. So you sense also how others see you, and your self-image reflects the larger reality. So you have an accurate sense of your strengths and limitations, which give you or gives you a realistic self-confidence. It is also gives you clarity on your values and sense of purpose. So you can be more decisive when you set a course of action. Okay? So that you can give again can give you more decisive when you set a course of action. So there are essential values during pandemic situation. So we have patriotism, integrity, and we have excellence. So as public servants, we are all anchored and attached to these values. So moral values must be taught to the students by an education at school and also at their specific house. It is important to know also that moral values are important to be taught to the students because moral values have an impact on the student's achievement and behavior. Again, moral values have an impact on the student achievement and students' achievement and behavior. Okay, so we have in the Philippines bayanihan, or more specifically the bayanihan spirit, is an archetypal Filipino trait. What does it mean? So the terms uh, refers to a certain spirit or attitude or communal unity and cooperation to achieve a particular goal, which has manifested itself since the colonial era, when men in rural towns rather would come together to lift a family's entire house to move the entire house to move to a new place. Okay, so throughout our country's history, in the Philippines, we have seen many instances of bayanihan in this pandemic time, from women volunteering as nurses to Filipino soldiers during wartime, or to ordinary citizens donating relief and aid to victims of calamities. So as it takes many forms, bayanihan cannot simply be defined or encapsulated by a single word, but involves what we call kinship. So as public servants, we are all anchored and attached to these values. Okay, so moving on. So we have core values. Okay, so we need to reflect. Values again are fostered since to reflect on the discussion that values are fostered since childhood through the process of sharing and analyzing individuals' experience based on certain concepts such as I have said, goodness, beauty, love, etc. And again, rules and standards are also important for value development. All people tend to seek values and recognition. We are also considering the cognitive aspect of John Piaget of what valuing values in life is life's important value in itself. So let us reflect the questions of why do you say that you learned your lesson. Okay, so what are the values that we need to consider moving on. So we have the question. This is cliche, but at this point in time, so I have here a question. Who am I? Again, this is cliche. For the next slide, Okay, so what are the values to have? Okay, so as I have said in this slide, what can you do to cultivate your values? This is just a reflection. So moving on to the next slides, as I have said, this is a cliche question. The values formation program. One question is identifying the self. So who am I? You may post your answer in the comment section. So what are the values you have? Kindly post your questions or rather your answers on the comment section. Okay. So one question. Okay, while waiting, moving on. Okay, as I have said, who am I? So moving on, kindly post again your comment. Okay. So developing your inner self. Okay. So what do you think are the values you have? Again. Okay, kindly post. So welcome. So okay. So I think you are, you know, reflecting on in this pandemic what is supposed to be my values, what is supposed to be myself. Who am I now? So am I discovering more of the self? Okay. So the questions I posted in our slides are number one, who am I? As I have said, you may post on or later on, you may ask questions for that if you cannot post your answer if you're not available or not ready to answer the question in the okay in the in our FB page. Okay. So again, so one question that you need to reflect on while I'm discussing who am I, what are the values you have, and the development of what your inner self. So come to think of it, and the values that you have for your family and I. Values my family and I. Of course, it is really important for the individual to show their abilities, no, to inspire his or her family. So what is my values for my family and my values uh, for myself to my family. Okay, how about the next slides? Your values with regards to your friends and I. Okay, so doing something good, I think, for another person, whether individual or group, is a way of what? Reaching out. It's a way of reaching out. How about the value formation on the next slide? So we have uh, my teacher and I. So how about your teacher and your relationship with your teacher, specifically now in the pandemic time? Of course, in higher education, I think students are better motivated through personal achievement. Okay. And I think the approach towards education should be what? Imparting knowledge, right? Okay. You may post your answer. So maybe some of you are you know are having stomach problem. Okay. So let's proceed. So I think this is the values that we need to um, reflect on. Okay, communication, or what should I say? Your communication with God, your relationship to your God, to your Creator. Okay, so come to think of it, goodness can be what included under the group of what ultimate values. Our relationship to our own Creator is what the ultimate value. I think. Okay, now if I'm going to rephrase my question now that pop up into my mind, how is this is now my question. How are you related with your creator of your God now? Okay. So continue with the next slides. We have, I think, communications to proceed with. We have communication with self. Okay. So a while back we had our exercise with Sir Romeo. Okay. So what is our communication with self? Hello, self. Okay, when you say hello world, um, consider the position of yourself now. Okay, so what is your communication with yourself? Hello, self. One is remembered for what one does for others, not for what one does for self. But you need to consider your, as I have said, your physical, emotional, intellectual, your mental health. Okay, so values at this point in time, or values education should help by one, eliminating violence, fanaticism or fanaticism. Okay. So again, moving on, communication with others. You may, I think you're hungry. In the Philippines, they are on uh, uh, barely our lunch now. Okay. Last, we have communications with others. So we have happiness. If the, I think it's a byproduct of an effort to make someone else happy. I think that's the bottom. Okay. So I would like to give you the well, the message for today's webinar, since I'm the last. Okay, from Kurt Vonnegut. So, according to him, no moral value is greater than humanity. Again, thank you, IGP, uh, for giving us the opportunity to, in this platform, to share our knowledge. Thank you very much for all the responses. Such a great
Yeah, and
thank you, mom, and thank you,
yeah, thank you
IGP.
so much too. Thank you very much too for sharing your time. And
Yes,
yeah, I also tried answering some of the reflective questions that you have posted, and it really needs time to think about it, to
yes,
look back and reflect of what kind of values we are currently upholding. So I might as well try to rewatch this video and take note of these questions one more time. And I encourage all the participants to do that because I think it's really high time for us to think
yes,
of the values that we want to uphold and teach our the younger ones. And thank you so much for sharing the things that we need to put in mind as we help our young learners, our the younger generation, because as they say, values is really crucial as they provide direction and meaning to life. Is that true? But I think it is. So thank you so much, Ma'am Jocelyn. And now I would like to thank our attendees for being actively participating in our discussions. And it just proves that we are really aiming to improve and be better. And now let's prepare our devices, notes, and fingers for the most awaited quiz show. It's time for quiz competition. Good luck. All right. So we encourage everyone while waiting for our quiz show, if you have questions, please prepare them after our quiz show. We're going to have question and answer portion. Well, we already have 85 joiners. So the link of our Slido quiz is in our chat box. So just click that one and it will direct you to slido.com. Those who won't be able to join the Slido, you still can actively participate by commenting your answers in our chat box. 85 participants still, and now we have 107. $113. Welcome all participants. Okay, so let's have the first question. It is the ability to notice the sound structure of spoken words. Is that phonological awareness or phonics? %80 answered phonological awareness, which is correct. Let's go to the first leaderboard. Second question. It is the ability to read a text quickly, accurately, and with proper expression. Fluency or phonics? I can see some answers in the chat box. All right, 79% answered fluency, and that is correct. Majority got it correctly. Let's go to the next question. If the student is good at orthographic mapping, reading practice is helpful to increase this skill. If the student is good at orthographic mapping, reading practice is helpful to increase the skill. Fluency, phonics. Okay, and the answer is fluency. We have least 32% got it correctly, but in our chat box, I think a lot got it correctly. It is a measure of how well you can do exercises that involve your whole body at moderate to high intensity for an extended time. Muscle strength or cardiovascular endurance. %58 answered cardiovascular endurance, and the answer is correct. Half answers from our commenters in our boxes. It is the ability of each joint to move through the available range of motion for a specific joint. Is that flexibility or cardiovascular endurance? Flexibility is answered by 96%, and yep, we got it correctly. What about in our chat box? Sixth question, it is the amount of fat mass compared to lean muscle mass, bones, and organs. Is that body mass index or body composition? %55 answered body mass index, but the answer is body composition. It is about preparing your mind for any situation at work or in your personal life. Is that physical readiness or mental readiness? We have to get it correctly. 94% said mental readiness, and only 6% say physical readiness. So Romeo would be happy with this result. Next question, the eighth question. A sector plan in education indicates overall planning or planning for a region. Ni- 59% said overall planning, 41% planning for a region. Overall planning is the correct answer. Let's go to the ninth question. Social reform aims at changing the norms of the group or changing basic values of society. Social reform aims at changing the norms of the group or changing basic values of society. %70 answered changing basic values of society, and the answer is that's correct. And the last question. I hope everybody gets 100%. I mean, everybody gets the correct answer. Let's see. In higher education, students are better motivated through competition or personal achievement. In higher education, students are better motivated through competition or personal achievement. 78% said personal achievement, and that is correct. Yes. Thank you very much for all the participants, and congratulations to our top 10. Your certificates will be available in few minutes. It will be posted on our page. Stay posted. Now we're going to bring you our question and answer portion. Please post your questions in our comment boxes below. We will accommodate as time allows, as many as we can, as our time allows. Let's go to our question and answer portion. Again, please type the names of those specific speakers that you want to answer your questions, address them. And you are very much encouraged to post as many questions as you can. All right, so we welcome our three lovely speakers for today to join us in our screen, on our screen. I will still have the results of our quiz competition. So again, congratulations, top 10 winners. Your certificates will be available in few minutes. Ameline Katubay is our top one. Congratulations, Miss Ameline, for answering 9 out of 10 and the fastest to slide. All right, some reminders. Welcome again, Miss Hadza, Mr. Romeo, and Miss Jocelyn. All right, so we have our questions here. The first question is from Manolita Oligo. For Miss Alucha, Mr. Katuday, and Miss Pundav Pundavella. Should be Pundavella?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
What what effect does the change from a conventional flipped classroom format to an online flipped format have a student have on student learning performance? So any of you can answer the question?
Let me do it first. Hello, Manolita Ramos Oligo. It is actually a major flip, all right? Because from before, pre-COVID situation, there are numerous challenges, and this time it evolved to another numerous challenges also that we are facing because of this COVID-19 pandemic situation. Now, the catch here is we have to ace the new normal situation. Through our talk, it will help us a lot improve in better ways so that we could strive more, help our students to perform and excel in their performance. So the challenge lies on the people who are well informed and aware of the current situation. If they are ready, if they are eager to help, if they are aware and they demonstrate goodness and kindness to everyone, then there will be better performance among the learning of the students. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. May I answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay, because of the old style, because of the usual activity of the student before the pandemic happens, I think they were affected based on having the question, how are they going to be assessed? And what are the activities that they may or they must perform? Are they going to be assessed and graded based on the similar activities before? Or do they have the accessibility internet-wise, connectivity-wise? How are they going to cope up with the new situation or the new setup of education, depending on the modality? So these are the considerations or maybe the issues no concerning the student. How are they going to cope up with the new situation? And I think that's the main adjustment, from the old style, from the flipped classroom towards the new situation. So I think that's the main idea there, and that's the main issues where the students actually concerned about. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think my main concern, aside from, of course, the classroom, the conventional classroom, into a new normal setup, is our concern of the mental status of our students, because we don't know what is the level of their mental, capabilities, and their emotional level up to now. It's because of the modalities given. Uh, Whereas if we have the face to face, we can see on their eyes and from their emotions. Now, the concern is like what Sir Romeo stated a while ago, the mental aspect of the students is also our concern in this conventional, from this new normal situations. Yes.
Thank you very much. I hope that answers your question, Miss Manolita. The next question from Miss Mirasol Silaga to Ma'am Haja Rama. You mentioned that some high school students have encountered reading difficulties such as wrong pronunciation. So, how to intervene or do good solutions with regard to this situation? Thanks.
All right, a very good question, Ms. Mira Solsilata. In our local context, we have our local innovation. So therefore, we could intervene in their situation strategically to localize our intervention depending on their needs. Specifically, if they mispronounce the words, we do not necessarily need to humiliate them, but we could correct them in a nice manner. Their difficulties is not their hindrances, so we better have our best approach to improve their reading comprehension. So it's not a problem that they mispronounce it. We just have to stratify and strategize the things that we need to inculcate with them. Specifically, we have to give them specific reading materials or a video recording with that proper pronunciation so they can imitate like that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have another question from Catherine Angeles. How is the importance of mental health wellness in education? Question to Ma'am Jocelyn. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So one from the discussion of Ma'am Hadja is the readiness. That is the most important in reading, right? So how can we read also? How can be how can we be ready if our mental readiness is not yet ready? Okay. So for higher, let's say junior high school onwards, they have the negative feeling on the pandemic. It's because of the socialization aspects. So is the importance of mental health wellness in education. If they are not ready emotionally, they're not ready to go to school. They're not ready to, rather, they're not ready to do the modules or any online or modality. They're not ready to study. They're not ready to learn if their mental capabilities is not well. That's why mental wellness is the same as physical wellness, according to Sir Romeo a while back. So we need to be mentally healthy for us to be ready to study or to learn or to move forward to our aspirations in life. Yes. I hope that suffices
Okay,
my.
thank you. Yes, or from Neil de Monteverde. Any exercise to recommend so that learners not develop limited attention span? To Sir Romeo.
Yes, thank you for that question, Sir Neil Demonsteverde. Actually, in the new normal setup, because of the pandemic, many students failed to, continue their usual activity. And I think we could develop learners to attention span during online classes by giving them a break or just a simple activity, just what we did a while ago during the activity one. A simple 5-minute workout, give them a simple movements to follow, give them a specific instructions to do or activity. Especially, I ask my in my college students and also to my junior high school student up to senior high school student. Usually, when they're facing the computer, I ask them to blink their eyes after 5 minutes. Okay, or maybe to move somewhere else, to look or to focus their eyes somewhere else, so their eyes and their mind could have the proper relaxation after dealing with the computer for a long period of time. So these are simple activities that we could apply during online classes or maybe during their extra time. Just give them short, minimal activities wherein majority of the muscles is involved. Plus, of course, you need to concentrate also the brain. One of that is the blinking of the eyes, then
Right.
taking off
Wow.
facing the computer. Go. Thank you. I hope you
I
ask.
love,
I answered the question.
I love that. Thank you, sir. Now from Manolita Ramos Oligo. For Mr. Katudai, why is upskilling teachers digital skills a big thing in the new normal education?
Oh my God. So my topic is not ICT, but I will answer your question. Obviously, when we talk about upskilling, from our no from our conventional style of teaching plus our normal strategy, we need to be adaptive. That's the main thing. We need to be adaptive and open-minded to the new changes in our environment. Whatever is expected to us, obviously, as a teacher or being a student or working in anywhere else, whatever the demand to us by the community or by the society, we need to give them 100%. But by doing that, of course, we need to adjust also, be adaptive with the changes. That's all that's the main thing that we need to do. If you're not good in ICT, try to do tutorial, try to attend trainings, be upgrade with your thoughts. And if you're not a good performer or maybe you have a difficulty in leading our organization, if you're a leader, try to tap up higher or advanced individuals who have good knowledge about dealing with people, diba? So we need to, it's our choice. Now, it's our choice to upskill. It is our main thing now to be adaptive and adjust to the demand of the community or workplace or society. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice answer, sir. I totally agree with that. From Marlon Marmol to Ma'am Haja, how can we inspire more our learners, our parents, and families to read a lot if they are suffering from poverty, calamity, or pandemic? Thanks so much.
Okay.
Miss Haja, you're on mute.
All right. This question of Marlon Marmol is actually a reality in humanity. Now, because we are living in this VUCA world, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, poverty, calamity, pandemic is really a reality. Now, inspiring learners, parents, and families to read a lot is not just a challenge for today's present time, even before. So, the key thing that we need to inspire them is by our demonstrativeness, as I have reiterated a while back. We should be readily available to our friends, to our learners, to our parents, to our families, to the people around us. We show support. In that way, we could inspire them. Okay, because poverty, calamity, and pandemic are really what we are experiencing in this generation and even before. So there's no such thing as problem with these things. The way how we handle our perspective is the challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Haja. Do we still have more questions? Well, I love the question. From Anne Pasco, how to encourage the students to do physical fitness when they're just home during this pandemic? I believe that it's for you, Mr.
Yes.
Romeo.
Okay, thank you for that, Ma'am Sarah, and also to the one who gave the question, Miss Annie Pasco. Obviously, when we talk about engagement in different physical activity, to be physically fit, there are considerations. Aside from your health, of course, availability of the materials or the facility. But because we are now in the pandemic time, I think it is for us, it's our duty to teach our learners or our students to have an alternative activity at home. Consider all the chores at home that may be equivalent to be substituted to the usual exercise activity. For example, climbing a stairs, that is a good leg power exercise. That is also considered as repeated climbing of stairs, going down, going up repeatedly. That is a good aerobics exercise already. So all we have to do is to be more open-minded. All the main consideration there, the word there is to move. Then try to increase the intensity of that simple activity from simple walk, simple jogging in place for 2 minutes. Then try it next time 3 minutes to 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Then try to talk to people, ask your friends or maybe your family members to participate also with that simple activity. Washing dishes, cleaning the garden, arranging the garden, pulling or arranging your sala will be a good help. That will give them the chance to continue doing physical fitness activity because movement is life also, preparing your mind to focus on all your routines. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Romeo. From Renz Cruz Mabalatan to everyone, can academic freeze the lower suicidal rates or psychological effects to both teachers, students, and even the parents?
All right. Let me answer that first. I believe we are not in the position to answer these things with regards to academic freeze because curriculum wise, experts say that we have to continue our education despite we are experiencing pandemic. But personally, as a teacher, I believe that through constant efforts of stakeholders, we could lessen the challenges that we are experiencing in this global pandemic. All right. The academic freeze will surely lower suicidal rates. But what are they going to do at home? That is the question. How are they going to improve themselves while they are at home, given the fact that the academic is frozen indeed? So the challenge lies on the collaborative effort of all the stakeholders. There might be pandemic, but learning continuity must continue. Yeah.
May I add, ma'am, to the
Yeah,
question of
sure. Go
Renz
ahead.
Cruz Malabata? Uh, we can do nothing about it. Even during the World War I, World War II, during that time, they experienced academic freeze because of the situation. But this time, it's different. It's different. We have all the technologies. We have all the style to continue learning and to continue education. All we have to do is to adapt and use different strategy to what? To address those problems that can cause suicidal tendency. What is that? Try to, keep active, be physically active so you can divert your attention momentarily or for a while. Then accept who you are, identify your own weakness, put that in mind that we are not perfect. But after identifying these imperfections of ours, maybe someday or maybe tomorrow we can have a new version of ourselves. Be positive. Then take a break. If you can do such activities, if you're not perfect for that demand, so in your work or in school, for that matter, try to take a break. Internalize, meditate, eat well, eat good foods for yourself, reward yourself, then also talk to people. Talk to the one you can trust to, whom you can trust to, your friends, your family, even using a simple platforms and social media will do as long as you know how to filter messages. That's what we can do to avoid that suicidal tendency. It's so sad to hear someone's having that problems or maybe experiencing that thought to do suicide. I think that's the least thing that we must do. We need to appreciate ourselves. Ourselves is a gift. Our body is a gift from God. We need to appreciate it and value it. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, can I read the question? Can academic praise lower suicidal tendency rates? I don't think we can have this praise, academic praise. I still suggest that we need to have to go on with the education, okay? Because psychological effects that only triggers it's because of pandemic, not because of education. It's because of the situation where every one of us has what limits our socializations, our some activities that we used to do. So academic is no longer, the problem actually. It's the pandemic actually is the problem. So I think we cannot lower the cases of academic, cases of suicidal rates if we cannot continue our education. The more if we get as my experience as an evaluator of a psychological uh, well-being of our students, the more that they have no activity, the more psychological effects that they will experience. Actually, doing modules and online classes is what are one way of saying that we somehow divert their attentions doing in their families, uh, whether we like it or not. Within the family is already what has a problem actually. So that's not only education per se. So I think we cannot um, you know uh, education we cannot place them. That's a source of survival actually. So that's my evaluation of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the answers. I hope that answers your question. Renz Cruz Mabalantan. Facebook user. Especially that we know how important breathing is to our physical well-being. It's a statement. Maybe you want to give a comment on that, Sir Romeo.
Okay, so let me read it first from the Facebook user, especially that we know how important breathing is to our physical well-being. So
Uh,
that is such a statement, of course.
Maybe the
Usually,
question is, oh, sorry.
yeah, yeah. Uh, even we are lying, even we are sleeping, there's an activity ongoing in our body. So through that breathing exercise or activity, I just try to understand the statement. Okay, we still consume energy because of that action of our body. So I think manifestation that we are manifestation or maybe a sign that we are doing and leveling up the activity because of the breathing activity also when we go, when we heighten your cycle of breathing, therefore, we're doing a good aerobics activity. we're trying to intensify or level up the so-called involvement in that specific movement or action. So breathing activity or exercise, you know, it is a sign that we are doing aerobics activity also, or exercise per se. Okay, so that will be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Romeo. Yes. All right. So that's the end of our Q&A. Thank you so very much to our lovely and amazing and awesome three speakers for sharing your expertise, your knowledge in these areas. And thank you so much. See you later.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you,
Thank you so much,
IGP.
Miss Sarah, and
Thank you to our
also to
participants.
IGP.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Wow.
you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I believe that we were able to gain a lot of knowledge and insight from the talk and the question and answer portion. Thank you so very much for your active participation during the discussion. And I just want to ask everyone to please leave us review below and share this webinar with your friends and colleagues. Your simple act of support will help us reach out to more people to be more empowered. Now for your e-certificates, a code will then be provided momentarily, which will be used to claim your certificates. So keep tuning in our announcement. Our announcement for today: double bonus with regular webinar. Along with our regular webinars, we also have added webinars on every weekend. That is today, Sunday morning, on the month of October. October morning session date is on the 3rd of October, the 10th of October, and the 21st of October at 9:30 a.m. BST. Triple bonus starting from October to we have a webinar series program. You will get individual certificate for each webinar, and after submitting all certificates, you will receive webinar series certificate. It is highly focused on teaching strategies, research, assessment, pedagogy, tools, and techniques, and professional development communication skills. Our first webinar series program, this is a five parts webinar series. Topic: authentic assessment in teaching and learning. We're already done with the first part, and the next one will be on the 4th of October, the 7th of October. The part 4 will be on the 10th of October, and the last part will be on the 26th of October. Our second webinar series program, this is a four-part. We have 4 parts webinar series, and our topic is teaching English as a foreign language in assessment. The first part's already been done on the the first part will be on on the 2nd of October. The next part will be on the 6th of October, and the third part will be on the 20th, and the last part will be on the 24th. Our third webinar series program topic is digital classroom engagement tools. This will commence on the 11th of October, and the second part will be on the next day, the 12th of October. The third part is on the 13th. The fourth part is on the 14th, and the last part is on the 15th. Certification process, step by step. You can join all our live programs from our Facebook page, our Facebook group, our YouTube channel, and our website. So if anyone missed any program due to some unavoidable issues, you still can attend our previous webinars with a verified certificate. Step 1 for the certification process. Our main theme, our today's program name is Acing the New Normal Education. Certification link will now is certification link is available in the comment box and pinned comment. Certification link will be also available in this program post on our Facebook page, Facebook group, and our YouTube description. You can claim your certificate in two ways. First one is direct link from the comment box, pinned comment, or post description. The second one, if you are not able to click this link, you can directly browse our page, www.eduigp.com, for all information together. Find today's program, which is Acing the New Normal in Education, then process are the same. Step 3. Browse www.eduigp.com or given link. You will be redirected in this page of our website. You can also find our YouTube link and click enroll now. If you are new, you can create your account. If you have already an account, then you can type the seminar title or find the seminar title and get enrolled for those who will create their new account. And the last step, the most important, is for you to have our code. So our code for today's program is IGP 8686. Please note of this code. You can copy it on your notes, take a screenshot, and then you can use this to claim your certificates anytime at your convenience. Because without code, no one is eligible for a certificate. Again, our code for today is IGP 8686. The last step, with code, click Get Your Certificate and enter our code, which is IGP 8686, and then get your certificate. It should be automatically downloaded. So there you go. Your certificate is now ready. Anyone can verify your certificate. It's below your certificates. You can see the verification code. Verification. Our free international webinar certificate is auto-downloadable in PDF file. You don't need to download it manually, so check your device file manager. Sometimes it looks uncompleted, which is for your mobile screen size. In PDF file, everything is perfect. Dear participants, if any problem raised to claim your certificate or any other issues, please don't hesitate to contact us. Our core team members are always ready in comment section to support to find solutions. Our team customer service representative who have been working so hard to make this webinar work. Our Facebook page managers, Cherise Abejo Caberos and Janet Cablao. Team customer service representative. Team customer service representative in our from our Facebook group, Miss Sherilyn Yamaguchi, Jonas Malingen, Alonso Warren Cariaga. And our team customer service representative in our YouTube channel, They are Kelvin Linato, Joel Danuog, and Jeffrey Sayag. This evening, the 3rd of October 2021, we have another webinar with the title Disaster Preparedness and Climate Change Adaptation. We have 3 speakers coming from the Philippines. For our webinar series 1, part 2, we're already on part 2. That will be on the 4th of October with the title Authentic Assessment in Teaching and Learning. And on Tuesday evening, that will be on the 5th of October, we have the webinar's theme, Competency-Based Teaching. We are having 2 speakers from India and the Philippines. Our webinar series 2, part 2, that will be on the 6th of October with the title Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment. And our webinar series 1, part 3, that will be on the next day, the 7th of October, with the title Authentic Assessment in Teaching and Learning. Next Friday, the 8th of October 2021, coming from the Philippines, we have 3 speakers going to discuss about the strategies in competent-based curriculum. And another upcoming webinar on the 9th of October 2021 with the title Implications of Theories of Reading to the Teaching of Reading. We're having 1 speaker from the Philippines, Mr. Jimter Desina. And another upcoming webinar on the 10th of October with the title Bringing Character Education in Classroom. That will be the morning session. We're having 2 speakers from the Philippines. And in the evening, we're going to continue with the webinar series 1, part 4. That will be on the 10th of October with the title Authentic Assessment in Teaching and Learning. And another upcoming webinar on the 11th of October. This is our webinar series part 1 on the 11th of October with the title Digital Classroom Engagement Tools with Edpuzzle. And the part 2 of our webinar series 2, 3, that will be on the 12th of October. The same, it's a digital classroom engagement tools with Kutobi. And the next part of our webinar series 3 the following day with the title Digital Classroom Engagement Tools with Google Site this time. And the next webinar series 3 with the title Digital Classroom Engagement Tools with Wakelet on the 4th of October, on the 14th of October. All right, and another upcoming webinar on the 15th of October. That will be the overview of the digital classroom engagement tools overview. And on the 16th of October, we have a speaker from Oman who's going to discuss about artificial intelligence in education. And another upcoming webinar on the 17th of October, Becoming by Overcoming. We have 3 speakers from the United States. Another upcoming webinar on the 18th of October with the title Personality Traits and Technology Acceptance. 2 speakers coming from Pakistan. And on the 19th of October, with the title Subconscious Mind in Success, we have 2 speakers coming from the Philippines and India. And for our webinar series 2 part 3, that will be on the 20th of October with the title Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment. And on the 24th of October, the morning session with the title 21st Century Teaching and Learning. Demystified. We have 2 speakers coming from India. And in the evening, we have the 4th part of the webinar series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language Assessment. Wakelet. On the 25th of October, we have more from the Philippines who's going to discuss the process to be a TVET trainer. That will be on the 25th of October. And the last part of our webinar series 1 will be on the October 26th with the title Authentic Assessment in Teaching and Learning. And on the following day, the 27th of October, we have 2 speakers coming from the Philippines. They're going to discuss about innovative ways to teach research in distance learning. And another upcoming webinar on the 28th of October with the title International Political Economy. We're having 1 speaker from the Philippines. And another upcoming webinar on the following day, the 29th of October, with the title Work-Life Balance Professionally. We have 1 speaker coming from the Philippines. And another upcoming webinar on the 30th of October with the title Different Teaching Modality. We have 2 speakers coming from India. And another upcoming webinar on the 31st of October, Gamification, the Future of Distance Learning, coming from the Philippines. So those, ladies and gentlemen, are our upcoming webinar, which you can join in. I hope to see you all there, guys. Learning and being empowered. Again, our code for today's program, Acing the New Normal Education, is IGP 8686. All right, so that's it for our webinar for today. Once again, thank you so very much to our dear speakers who have shared their knowledge. And of course, this webinar won't be here if not of you, our dearest attendees. To the old and new, thank you so much. And so, have a happy Sunday and have a great day, everyone. Stay safe and remember, let's move to improve. Bye.